Welcome to The Explainer. We're about to dive into a story that has absolutely exploded online. A wild tale about a presidential abduction, some major global threats, and, get this, a $17 trillion prize. So let's break down this narrative.
So that's the quote that kicks this whole thing off. Simply picked up. I mean, let that sink in for a moment. We're talking about a country's sitting president. This is the central claim that launches us into what sounds like a geopolitical thriller, really unlike anything we've ever heard.
Now, before we go any further, just a quick but really important heads up. What we're doing here is mapping out the story exactly as it's told in this particular YouTube video. We're not here to fact-check it. Our job is simply to break down the powerful narrative that's being presented.
All right, so let's dive into the first big piece of this puzzle, the abduction itself. The whole story really kicks off with this incredibly bold allegation. I mean, if this were true, it would completely rewrite the rules of international relations.
So, the core claim here, the event that sets everything in motion, honestly sounds like something straight out of a movie. The source alleges a U.S. Special Forces op didn't just target a foreign leader, no. They claim they physically removed him from Venezuela and brought him to the U.S. to stand trial.
And to really hammer home just how wild, how unprecedented this would be, the video makes a really powerful comparison. It points out that even Saddam Hussein was tried in his own country, right, in Iraq. So the message is pretty clear. What they're alleging happened to Maduro would be a total break from historical precedent.
Okay, so if something this explosive actually happened, you can bet the world would have something to say about it, right? And that's exactly where the narrative goes next. It pivots to this massive international outcry, painting a picture of a really swift and severe global reaction. The video basically lays out a world in total uproar. So on one side, you've got this fierce resistance from within Venezuela itself, the vice president reportedly vowing they will not surrender. And then on the other side, you have this huge wave of international condemnation. We're talking joint statements from Spain and Latin American nations, India expressing deep concern, and even protests popping up in different countries. So what was the alleged U.S. response to all this backlash? Well, according to the video, it wasn't a step back. It was a pretty chilling escalation. The claim is that a warning went out. Anyone who resists is going to pay an even bigger price. And this brings us to the absolute core of the story, the central mystery, right? Why? Why would any nation risk this kind of global firestorm over one person? Well, the video argues the answer isn't about the man at all. It's about the prize.
I mean, seriously, what could possibly be worth all that heat? The controversy, the condemnation? The answer, according to the source, is simple and incredibly valuable. It's not about a person. It's all about a resource.
And the answer starts right here, with this number, 300 billion. What is that? Well, that's the estimated number of barrels of proven crude oil reserves just sitting under the ground in Venezuela. We're talking about the largest proven reserves in the entire world.
But, 300 billion barrels is one thing. What's that actually worth? Well, that brings us to the number that really defines the stakes here. The video puts the potential market value of all that oil at a jaw-dropping $17 trillion. I mean, that's a number so big it's kind of hard to even wrap your head around. So to try and put that number into perspective, the video makes this absolutely stunning comparison. That $17 trillion, it's not just a ton of money. It's more than 4 times the entire GDP of a massive economic powerhouse like India. Just wow.
The narrative then takes this huge financial prize and ties it directly to U.S. domestic politics. The claim is that this entire massive operation was basically the fulfillment of a promise allegedly made to American oil executives in exchange for a $1 billion campaign donation.
Okay, so this all leads us to the final act of the story as it's told in the video, the high-stakes oil gamble. It's framed as way more than just an abduction. This is an all-or-nothing play for the entire economic engine of a whole country.
And an alleged quote that the video uses really lays the ambition bare. It's this: we are going to run the country, it's going to make a lot of money. So you see, the goal presented here isn't just about getting access to the oil, it's about total control.
And this is a really crucial point the narrator makes. Despite this massive show of force, it's all a huge gamble. Because, seizing the prize is one thing, but actually controlling it, profiting from it, that's a whole different ballgame. The video is clear, victory is absolutely not guaranteed.
So why is it such a gamble? Well, the video points to some massive obstacles.
You're talking about potential armed resistance from the Venezuelan military, the very real risk of a scorched earth tactic where the oil fields just get destroyed, and of course the brutal reality of what a long-term, bloody occupation would look like.
And so the story kind of leaves us right there, on a nice edge. It's a tale of an unprecedented action for an almost unbelievable prize. But it's all wrapped up in this immense risk. And the source video leaves its audience with that one final hanging question. Will the gamble actually pay off?